If you've ever been a defendant, they give you a jury of your peers because you're more likely to get a fair and equitable trial, right? And so that's how I felt with the doctors that I selected. It was more about cultural competence and having doctors who have the same cultural practices, cultural beliefs, and can understand me and understand my stressors, because my stressors may not be the same as yours. My stressors may not be the same as Selena's. You know, we're different demographics, different cultures, they're different. So when the doctor tells me, you know, when the doctor tells me you have stress, well, my stress may just be coming from me having a black son going out every day. Everybody might not understand that, but a doctor who looks like me is going to understand that. They're going to understand the disparities in health, the things that affect the black community, like diabetes, hypertension. Those are the first questions they're going to ask. You know, do you have diabetes? Do you have hypertension? Do you have anybody in your family that has hypertension? So that was really important, and it's just about having trust, just gaining trust and being treated fairly. I went about 8 years being undiagnosed. Starting with going to the cardiologist, being very proactive in my health, so I wasn't resistant at all. I was very proactive, went to my doctor, was immediately sent to a cardiologist who did a stress test, and I was diagnosed with exercise-induced atrial fibrillation. And really what I was told is that I needed to decrease the intensity of my workout. And so that's what I did. But as I continued to follow doctors' recommendations, my symptoms didn't subsidize. They just got worse. You know, I was having chest pain, shortness of breath, and still proactive in my health. I would go to the doctor, tell him my symptoms, and I was dismissed. Well, something told him on the way to the hospital, the way to work, to call my daughter and tell her, I need you to go ahead and take your mom to the hospital. The minute she came down the stairs, the minute she came into the room, I had jaw pain. Right. It went right down my jaw, down to my shoulder. Still didn't think anything about a heart attack. That was like the furthest from my mind. But when I get there into the emergency room, I start vomiting. So when I get my EKG, that's when they say, well, you know, you may be anxious, you know, you're nervous, you're having a panic attack.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah, those things. And so they sat me in the waiting room. I started feeling chest pressure. And the triage nurse, I told my daughter, I said, I feel like somebody's stepping on my chest. It just feels like pressure. And she came up to me and she said, what did you say? I said, I feel like pressure. And they immediately got me back. But it wasn't even the EKG that told I was having a heart attack. It was my blood work. And when the doctor came in, at first, he was very jovial. He was smiling. He was asking me different things. Then he left, and when he came back, he had a vascular doctor with him. Me still, I thought the vascular doctor was in training. I'm like, oh, he's here to learn something. But no, I was having a heart attack.